It's a Renault Kadjar. What exactly does Kadjar mean? Well, apparently, and according to Wikipedia, Cad is inspired by quad to represent go anywhere on a four-wheeled vehicle, and jar recalls the French word meaning agile or jaler. So it's a agile four-wheeled vehicle. So it's a Renault agile four-wheeled vehicle. Yay! Very French.
Right, afternoon and welcome in today's episode of Man Who Has Children, so drives various family cars around. This is my partner's Renault Kadjar. As you can see, it's rather quite filthy, and I don't know if you can hear, but that's my children playing in the playroom. But I thought I'd give you a show around it, see what it's like, while I take it to the car wash and then get it cleaned out because it's filled with various children things. This is her car. She's had it for about a year or so. To be fair to it, it's actually not that bad a car for a family vehicle. I wouldn't say it's the biggest car in the world because it's not, but it does get you from A to B and it does do it in relative comfort. This particular model is the 130 petrol TCE. It has the, as I put, the 1.3 litre, 130 horsepower. It's 140 horsepower, 130 horsepower. Turbocharged petrol engine, which is attached to the EDC gearbox, which is like Renault's dual clutch automatic. It's fine. It does what it needs to do. I quite enjoy it. It's a nice, easy, comfortable ride. Power fold mirrors. This particular model is the GT line, so it comes with things like the panoramic roof, air conditioning, which all of them come with, but it's got full leather interior, which I'll show you in a minute. Heated seats, which is very, very nice. It does have the LED lights, the nicer looking wheels. It's overall, to be fair to it, a really good family car. You can fit two children's seats in the back, which I'll show you in a moment as well. Not very good if you've got three kids though, but it is good if you've got two. Boot space, reasonable side, eco mode, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, climate control. It's got pretty much anything and everything built into it that you're going to want as a normal individual, or somebody that's got two children, or two young children up to two older children, or if you've got three older children, then you'd be able to sit them in there in relative comfort. You can go a decent amount of journey with it. And MPG, because as we all know, I absolutely love MPG. It's all right. Do you know what's really annoying though? So it's got an electronic handbrake, which fair play, you can have that, but it doesn't have an auto hold feature like VW or I believe BMW have it as well. Maybe it's just vehicles that have W's in them. These guys don't have auto hold, which is really annoying because when you get out of one and go into the other one, you put your foot on the brake and then you're like, oh yeah, it's okay. And then it's not okay because the car's going forwards. I know it's got some sort of like hill assist in it, but it's touch and go whether that actually works, because sometimes it does, sometimes it don't, and that's dangerous. So yeah, let's take a look inside. Now, getting inside the car is incredibly easy. It's a keyless entry system, so you literally just, well, you've got the key on your body, or as the advert suggests, up your bum. You press the button, which, FYI, if you haven't seen the Renault advert, there's like a man in, I think it's orange Speedos, and he walks up to a Clio, and his car just unlocks without him having any keys on him. So I'm assuming he puts a key up his bum, and then can just get into the car however you want. I don't know if that's a French thing. Although then again, it is the language of love. So maybe I don't know. Anyway, that is well off topic. Back on topic. Keyless entry, so you press your finger on the button, opens up. The wing mirrors fold out. This particular model has blind spot monitoring. So in big old wing mirrors, little orange dot if somebody's coming up around near you, so that I suppose you don't drive into them. I mean, I guess you can drive into them if you don't check your mirrors, but it's there to try and help you for blind spots. Car itself, steering wheel, every vehicle has one, unless, you know, you're in the back. I don't know what I'm going to say about it. It's leather bound. It's quite nice. You can use it to control telephone, answer calls. You've got your standard Renault stalks on here, auto wipers, auto lights. In the center is where we've got our climate control, AC, recirculation, rear demister. Is that what you call it? I think that's what you call it. The front demist as well. Touchscreen infotainment that's there, which is, not going to lie, if you're using the Renault system, the R-Link, which we do not use, quite laggy, not the best. Pretty much the only thing this is utilised for is to listen to DAB stations. Once again, Planet Rock all the way. This particular vehicle has the Bose sound system in it, which I'd say makes a difference, but I can't tell. I really can't tell. I'm sure if I sat in another one without it and then immediately got into this one, I'd go, do you know what, that's pretty good. But because I don't, and I got nothing directly to compare it to, yeah, sure, it's probably really good, but it also means that you don't get a spare wheel because it takes up the space. Like I said before, you've got the panny roof, which isn't going to open because I haven't got the car on at the moment. This particular one's got the automatic gearbox. You've got your, what's it called? Electronic handbrake here. For some reason, the cruise control, which is non-assisted, non-radar cruise control, basically the one where if you set it at 70 but someone's driving at 60 in front of you, you'll just plow straight into the back of them. Well, you won't. You'll get really, really close, and then the emergency braking system will kick in because it thinks you're going to have a crash, because it's not very smart. So don't try that. Trust me, it's not worth it. You've got that. You've got speed limiter, which does work very well. Your heated seats here, full leather interior, glove box. However, with respects to the glove box, there is none of that fuse box rubbish that you get on Peugeot. And I think it's Citroens as well when they move from right to left-hand drive. What's this thing called? You know, where you don't put your key in, push button start? Just like Tiger used to say, no keys, push to start. You don't have to have a black and yellow Lamborghini anymore. You can have I believe it's titanium or some weird silver color. It's not silver. I don't know what color this car is. It's Renault silver, so whatever that is. People are always banging on about scratchy plastics and stuff. This has got a lovely piece of leatherette over the top, and that scratchy plastic here. You got kids, who cares, because it wipes down. Who cares if it's scratchy plastic, because if it does get damaged, dented, it doesn't matter. It's a family car. It's not that important. The only reason why we went for the higher spec one is I like the heated seats. She likes the heated seats. Luxury. All the other bits was sort of like, oh, well, it's nice to have that. Went for an auto box as well because it's nice for it to be easy. I don't have the best of knees or back because, sure, you can tell by my peppered grey hair. The years have been kind to me. They haven't. Anyway, that's enough of that depressingness. It's comfortable. You can sit in this and do a long journey on it. I quite enjoy sitting in here. There's not much more you can really say about the vehicle. If you're a normal individual that wants a normal car, but wants a few little added extras, doesn't mind the Frenchiness of it, which I don't know what makes it weird, except for like odd button places. It's a good car for it. Like I say, sound system, I don't know if it really makes too much of a difference, but you can tell people you've got a Bose sound system because it sounds really awesome when you say the word Bose. And panny roof, this is closed at the moment, so it feels quite dark in here. What I'll do is, let me just start her up. I'll open the roof, and then you can see how much brighter it becomes. Bearing in mind, we're sat in shadow at the moment. So let's turn this bad boy on. Listen to that gentle petrol engine purr. Right, got the radio turned down. Oh, it sounds so lovely when it does that. Ooh, sounds. Here we go. And when you've got that, do you know what? This is a weird thing that adds no actual benefit to your car at all. There's no like drivability or dynamics or anything. But just having this to make the cabin space light and airy, I love it. The kids are like, make it dark. Maybe because the sunlight's reflecting off of the tablets. I know, bad parenting. Who cares? But I just like it. It's light, it's airy, it feels nice when it's like this. And, well, if it's me sat behind the steering wheel, that's the important thing. Or if I'm sat in the passenger seat, she's in the driver's seat. Yeah. Anyway, car seats as well, you might as well know, they are quite adjustable. This bit here at the front moves forwards and backwards. You can adjust your seat which way you want. This particular one is electronic. You do have lumbar support. With respect to storage, you've got it just here. You also have that storage thing where you can go like this. It looks like space for you to put a pen, possibly a really, really small mobile phone or some change. I usually put the mobile phone down here. We got the USB ports there, normal USB-A and an auxiliary in alongside with your 25 volt. Mobile phone sits there, Android Auto connects to it. Just use Google Maps on that because it's easier than doing anything else. And you do have an electronically dimming mirror, so if it's too bright, mirror dims, makes life easy. Shall we go check out the back? Let's do it. You join me opening the back door. That sounded weird. Hey, but anyway, the car, as you can see, dogly connected to the middle seat bracket. This particular child seat, which we've got in here, rather quite large, rather quite bulky, attached into the ISOFIX points, which we've got here. Blankets, these don't come with a car. These are blankets and cardigans and hoodies, because that's the sort of stuff you have in the passenger footwell area of your family automobile. You do have climate control in the rear. This is, well, is it climate control? It's part of the climate control system. It's not tri-zone, it's bi-zone. I won't make a joke about that. You've got the, what's one of these? These are one of these children's seats which utilises a seatbelt as opposed to ISOFIX. It's a little bit narrower. Yeah, fits in there. My eldest utilises this one. You do have a armrest in the middle, which has got cup holders in it, even though the chair comes with cup holders. Look at that bad boy. By the way, these Graco chairs, I really like them. They were dirt cheap from the old Tesco's. Other supermarket chairs are available, of course. And this bad boy, Mexicozy, with its airbags that are built into it. This is not a review of children's seats, by the way, but it is a big old bulky boy. And it's all right, you know. The youngest one rather quite likes it. But can you see how light and spacious it is here? Do you know what? I'm going to close the panny roof and you're going to see how much darker it gets in the back. Give me a minute. Look at that. It's like I'm casting a magical spell. You ever seen The Black Knight with, I think it was, is it Lawrence Fishburne? No, it's Martin Lawrence, with Martin Lawrence when he's the Black Knight. He's like, I'm going to make the night sky dark. I'm going to hide the moon. No, hide the sun. And then he has like a moon eclipse. A moon eclipse? A lunar eclipse? Man, I don't know what words are. You can tell it's been a while since I've been at school. But that's not the point. The point is, though, it's dark in here. And I like it light. Yeah. Look at that. Rear seat does what it needs to do. Sat in the back, plenty of leg room if you're an adult. It's decent if there's a kid in there. If you've got kids in the back and you don't want them swinging and kicking their feet into your back, these things are recessed slightly. They're more than enough space for them. You've got pockets at the back. Just attach a blooming phone holder on here. You do have hooks if you want to hang your shirts in there, but once again, you're not going to have that if you've got kids in the back. There's not a lot more I can say about this. There is a hump in the middle. You cannot have 3 child seats in a row in this car, so it is useless if you've got 3 kids that need child seats, or you've got kids that need boosters. You might be able to squeeze a booster in there between these two. I wouldn't. I don't think it's going to be comfortable for them, and I don't think it's going to quite sit nice with UK regulations. Still, good car if you've got 2 kids, or if you've got 3 kids because you need one sitting there, or you want older individuals that don't need children's seats to sit in the back. Yeah, let's check the boot out. Right, we've got the boot. In this particular one, I have my massive pram. This pram is huge. Also, it is a brilliant pram. I believe it's a Joy or Joey, but it's pronounced Joy, J-O-I-E. It's a Light Trax 4. This can go on sand and like, what's it called? Gravel. I love it. But once again, it's not a review about a pram, but if you want a review about a pram, let me know and I will happily show you how much I love this pram. Potty, once again, potty is not required or needed for any of these cars, but as with the Passat, if you've seen my video with the Passat, you can sit a child on a potty in here and close the boot lid down, and then they can have a wee with nobody around. And this circumference is off and protects them from prying eyes of, once again, not going to mention any of that stuff. So it's a good usable boot space. It's not as big as like an estate car. This is like a mid-size, I think. And so because of that, you can see we can fit a pram in here. If you want much more than just the pram in here, this is not the car for you, unless you've got a small pram. You do have space either side. The floor, it is 2-tiered. You know, like it can be dropped down. I think that's the right way of putting it. This particular one underneath, there you go. You got a little bit that's underneath there in case you want to put anything. I think we've got picnic blankets under there. English, picnic. ISO tether points, that one's an ISOFIX one. This is your load cover, that goes like that, comes out. It will fit neatly underneath on the bottom bit. You do get the squirty gel if you've got the Bose sound system. I'm not going to show you the subwoofer because it just looks ugly. You do have these little bits of metal on the bottom here as well, which protect it. Kick plates, I think they are. Does what it needs to do. Car itself does have a reversing camera. I did forget to mention that. Yeah, there's not a lot more I can say about the boot. Oh yeah, and you got the classic pull these handles, the chairs fold forward, provided you haven't got anything in the ISOFIX or anything sat on the chairs, because you can still click them and they'll still try to go forwards, even though there's stuff there. Wow. Boot space, big family, not for you. Small family, older individual, couple, yeah, you'll be able to utilize this. People always bang on about carry-on suitcases. Let's be realistic. If you're going with your family, you're not only taking bloody carry-on suitcases, you're taking a big old boy suitcase. You can probably put a big old boy suitcase and maybe 2-3 carry-ons, to be honest with you, and that's under the parcel. You can cram this vehicle full if you really wanted to. It does have the roof bars if you wanted to put a roof box on there, because once again, the more kids you got, the more stuff you got, the more things you need to put in it. So you can do that. And I think we should go for a drive. Let's go for a drive, because we need to go get this washed before the car wash closes. It's a Sunday that I'm doing this, and what's the time now? 3:10. We've got time. Let's go. Right, here we go. Car, driving. Let's see what it's like. Wow, it's like driving a car, funny enough. Do you know what? Steering wheel, it's light without being too light. If you drove, let's say, like a Peugeot or a Citroen, their steering is very, very light. This, on the other hand, does not feel as light as that by any stretch of the imagination. With respects to the brakes, when you're driving slowly, they do feel a little bit grabby. A couple of the things that I've noticed, because I'll point the negatives out. If you're reversing or trying to maneuver with the vehicle, and this is inherent to the automatic gearbox, it can either move really, really slowly, and then you start to put larger or more acceleration in it, or put your foot onto the pedal a little bit more than what you normally would do. It then jolts you forwards and it scares the crap out of you. So when it comes down to manoeuvring, just got to put this blind in. When it comes down to manoeuvring, it is not the greatest of vehicles, I'd say, in that sense. If you're going to do quick manoeuvres, so right into reverse, I need to do a quick 3-point turner, I'm just reversing around the corner, I'm pulling into my driveway, it's the exact same manoeuvre that I always do, I know how to do it, that's fine. But if you're driving uphill, downhill slowly and trying to do manoeuvres, sometimes the car just don't like it, and you, and when I mean you, I mean me and my partner, struggle to gauge how much acceleration is required for it, which is annoying, shall we say? So, let me, oh, you're pulling onto here, you're pulling onto here. So I'll give you a little taste of what it's like when we're going to drive up to national speeds. So get out of the 30, right, so foot down, we're not talking about blistering acceleration. Here we are, we're at 60. It's not going to pull your skin off or anything like that. It's no blooming roller coaster ride. Here we go, the bumps. With regards to how smooth the ride is itself, I think for what it is, which, let's be honest, it's a jacked up Renault Clio, or at least that's how it feels like to me. It's a little go-karty. It's not what people are like, go-kart handling like a Mini. Funnily enough, here comes a Mini now. There we go. It's okay to drive. It's not going to set you on fire, just the same as the Passat. It's a family vehicle, and what they've done is they've designed a product which is to suit not a sporty need. I mean, there's not even like a sport option in here. I think like a Passat would give you a sport button, but yeah, brakes, like I say, they can be a little bit grabby, particularly when when driving slowly or manoeuvring. When just driving out and about, they do exactly what you want. It fills you with confidence. It's not like I'm driving this vehicle and I'm like, oh, blooming hell, it's not great. I'm driving this vehicle and I think to myself, do you know what? I can sit here, it's comfortable, it's easy. If the kids are messing around, it's not like I've got loads of things going on at once. In fact, that's one of the many benefits of having an automatic box. If your kids are mucking about, or out of nowhere a shoe or a tablet or a drawing pad comes flying past you, it's not like as you're going around the roundabout you try to mess around with the clutch or anything. You quite literally are just like, I've only got to deal with one foot, because one for go, same foot for braking. We're on a nice little straight bit of road now. It's restricted down to 40 mile an hour. Sitting on here, you can hear, I don't know if you can hear actually, there's a little bit of road noise, no wind noise, but the road noise itself is probably due to the fact that the tyres that we've got on here, they're not brand new. They're not brand new by any stretch of the imagination. The amount of miles that we do in this vehicle is nominal. It's more to go from home to my partner's place of work / the the school, which is on the way, so it's more like a pick up and drop off vehicle. And we're talking in a day she drives maximum 15 miles, maybe 20, but at no point does this car, other than quite literally a brief 1 minute 60 mile an hour jaunt, the rest of it is at like 30 and at 40, which is the reason why we went for the petrol, because we didn't want any DPF or EGR issues. However, this does have a GPF, like a gasoline particulate filter, but apparently because gasoline engines get hotter quicker than diesels or something or other, it's never really going to be an issue. Car itself, it's got a lovely digital driver's display, which I will put a picture in because I need to take a picture of it. And you can customize it. You can customize it ever so slightly. I have like a yellow theme on the background because you can have up to 6 themes built into it. The different themes are simply for the users that drive your vehicle. Quite a few modern cars have those things built into them now. Mine, I've gone for the yellow, and then a more classic sort of like, is it revometer, tachometer? Whatever the rev one's called. I've got the rev one going around, and then I've got the how fast I'm going in the middle. Once again, this vehicle can display in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. As for driving in Europe, because of the LED lights, I do believe that it's level beams, so you don't have to go into a menu to change it so that it's applicable for driving in the UK or on Europe. Because it's level as well, that's only on the dipped beams. The headlights, if you were to use them in France or the rest of continental Europe, then you'd find that you're going to dazzle people. So if you go abroad, just keep it on the dipped as opposed to on the high, or just don't drive at night. That's another one. Just go in the summer, because there's not as much night, because you should be out having a good time, chilling in one of them caravan parks. Or we go to caravan parks. I quite like them, or the camping sites. I think we've only ever been into a hotel once or twice when we've been driving, because and that's usually only getting there and coming back. Actually, that's a good point. Driving in this car for a long period of time is comfortable. I find it really, really comfortable. I actually find this more comfortable than sitting and driving in the Passat. I wouldn't say I'm sat in here with some lofty position and is commanding and all that sort of rubbish. But I mean, it's just a comfortable seat to sit in. They do say that they're more ergonomic, but ironically enough, the fact that this is less ergonomic than is it ergonomic? Whatever it is, in order to try and help you back, the fact that this is less like that is actually nicer for me, because I'm knackered. Here we go, let's go around this corner. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Whee! I like that little bit, it's like a nice fun. I'll tell you what, let's open this up and then you'll see. Oh, there it is, the sun's on my face. I really like it with the panny roof. You can see the sun shining on my face. I'm recording this in February, yeah? The weather's all right. This is not how February usually is. It's usually cold and like, oh, I don't like it. It's February. It's still cold. And your gas is like through the roof. But it's been a really nice day today. Not summer, not spring. Definitely neither of those two. But the sun is out. My kids were here. The sun has got his hat on. I'm not singing that song. But yeah, it's been a good day. And driving this is nice. It's not a chore. It's an easy vehicle to drive. You'd enjoy it. It won't, like I say, set the world on fire. It won't give you the fizz, but what it will do is get you to A to B. It'll get you there in a good amount of time. It's got a good amount of safety built into it. It looks nice. It drives fine. It's not difficult. Your nan, your mum, whatever, or whomever can sit in the back with no issues. The kids can sit in the back with no issues. It's just a good quality vehicle. Don't buy one brand new, because they don't exist anymore. Renault don't sell them new anymore. What you can do, on the other hand, is buy them second hand. You can get them anywhere from, I think it's about 10 grand, or maybe even less than 10 grand now, all the way up to, I think it's about 20. We've gone for the GT line spec with the 1.3 litre turbo petrol in it, which is the most expensive turbo petrol with the most expensive trim. Is that the right way of putting it? The highest specified trim, not a flex. It's just it came with stuff we wanted. You can get a diesel. There is a 1.5 litre diesel, the one that's in everything. To be fair, it's also in Mercedes, so you could turn around to people and be like, yes, I've got the same engine as a Mercedes. Yeah, I mean, grasping at straws with that one, but it depends about your bad snobbery, doesn't it? where was I going with this? Oh yeah, there's also the 1.6. The 1.6 is the only one that you can get with the four-wheel drive. The four-wheel drive is only available in the manual. Apparently the manual is not a particularly nice one to drive. My brother, he actually has the 1.5 diesel with the same gearbox as what's in this. It's slow, like 0 to 60 is like 11 and a bit seconds, whereas 0 to 60 in this one is like 9 and a bit, which once again, it's adequate. I feel going from 10 seconds and lower, particularly when you merging onto dual carriageways and things like that, it does feel a little bit like nerve-wracking. Depends on the time you drive and if it's busy or not. If you're just going to be like an every now and again driver, you're driving at less sociable times when it's not as busy, it's not too bad. To be fair, when it's really, really busy, you don't need that at all, because at least here, it takes you a while to merge onto the road. Yeah, that's a very Peterborough specific like point. Very Peterborough specific. But yeah, no, good old vehicle. I like it. That's why we bought it. I wouldn't spend loads and loads of money on it. Oh, I'll tell you what though, fault-wise, so car has had a fault. I thought it was quite funny. So basically, the rear driver's side door, the solenoid failed in it, so you couldn't open it anymore. Now, that uses a solenoid for the locking mechanism, and it just wouldn't unlock. Whereas what you can do, the inside door, it's still on like a little cable, so even though it's locked, you do that and it sort of like overrides it. So the answer would have been, if you can't open it from the outside, you should be able to open it from the inside, and then you just take it down to Renault or your garage of choice, and then they'll repair it for you. But unfortunately, we had the child lock on, so because you got the child lock on, the handle on the inside wouldn't open as well as the handle on the outside not opening. So the answer and solution to that was to get a piece of card, well, malleable plastic, so it needs to be plastic sheet, you know, like on the front of like a notebook or something like that. Like we used a little bit of plastic from one of them, bent it up, used that to try and take off the child lock so that we could open the handle, which we weren't able to do. So when I took it down to Renault, it actually cost me more money, or well, I say me, it cost the warranty, because we had a warranty on the car, it cost the warranty company more money and labour than what it did on the parts, solely because it took them a while to try and get into the car in order to do the fix. Apparently, it's quite a common issue, which in the world of like big issues, it's not that bad. I mean, you could still open and close the window. It just became really awkward when we were trying to get the kids in and out, because we had to then, that's why the oldest one sits behind the driver's side, because it was easier for her to climb over and then to put the belt on, or climb over, open the window, help her put the belt on when, if required. It was just a really weird like problem to have. Still, if you didn't have the child lock on, it probably wouldn't have been too much of a concern. It was just, you couldn't open it from the outside, which I guess makes the car safe, so thieves couldn't get at you. It's like a reverse child lock. It was a nan lock. Anyway, yeah, like the car. If I was to go out and buy the vehicle again, I would buy it again. I like the mod cons, so I'd buy the better spec one. My brother's got a lower one. He's got like a Nav S model. That particular one came with, as it says on the tin, a navigation system built into it, which neither of us use. However, he got a 17 plate. Because he got a 17 plate, his particular one does not have Android Auto built into it. This one does. Just get one with Android Auto in it. Yeah, it's a good car. So if you want one, buy one. You won't be unhappy with it unless you need to put 3 kids in the back or more, because if you need to put like 4 kids in the back, don't buy this car. You can get a multi-mag, but if you've got 4+ kids, this is not the vehicle for you. Just get people carrying. Don't get an SUV with multiple seats. If you do get an SUV with multiple seats, get a good one. Like, get one with good space. If you've got 4 kids or more, just don't. Or do like what you would have done like 25 years ago and just buy a minibus. Just straight up minibus that stuff, because, you know, why not? Anyway, off course a little bit and back in the room, forget that tangent that I've just gone on to. I'm really glad that you guys took the opportunity in order to listen to this video that I've got here. I hope it was some top quality sound advice, and you're now going to go out and think, do you know what I really want is a Renault Kadjar. That's it. I don't want a Maserati, I don't want a Ferrari, I don't want a Lamborghini, I want a Renault Kadjar in titanium grey. I think that's the colour that this is. There's petrol and there's an automatic. There's Android Auto. Yeah. Anyway, please feel free to give me a like and subscribe. It will be awesome. I'd love to see some more subscribers. I'd love to see some more likes. I'd love to see some comments. Do you know what? If you've got a car that you want to have reviewed, if you want a car that you want to see whether it's good for a couple kids, if there's a car that will be decent for a nice family, if there's a car that's out there, do you know what? You just think, do you know what? I really want this guy to talk to me about my Honda Prelude. Then, yeah, go for it. Do you know what? The weirder the car, the better. Or just the older the car, the better. I'd actually really like to get my hands on a Toyota Corolla E11 or an E110, whatever generation they want to class that as, but the SR with the 1.6 3-door, that would be awesome. If you got one of them, let me know. I'd love to talk some shit about it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Like I say, like, subscribe, drop us a comment, and when you've got the opportunity, please feel free to watch a few more videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Right, I've just pulled in towards where the car wash is, and yeah, I'm not going to the car wash today because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars waiting, and that guy's only just got into that point. I can't be asked to do that because I will literally be here for ages. So what I'm going to do is take it, today's Sunday, I'm going to take it on Tuesday, because if I go Tuesday lunchtime, then next to nobody will be here. And yeah, at least I got to have a nice little drive out and about. Still, see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.